Hello Boneheads, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a game that I have wanted to talk about for a very long time. But before the video starts, I just wanted to thank everyone for getting me to 500 subscribers. I never thought in a million years I would even hit a milestone like this, so consider this my 500 sub special. If you're a gamer, you probably run into the question, what is your favorite game, quite often. And with tons of different games and different genres by different companies and people and artists, it can be very hard just to pick one. And because of this question has so many different answers for a lot of different people. However, if your answer to that question was any of these games, that immediately tells me you probably don't play that many video games. I mean shit, even the worst games ever can make a really big impact on someone. But what game would I personally pick to answer this question? Well... Yes, Persona 5 is my favorite game, but before I start praising and glazing this game, I need to go back to where it all started, to give you my experience with this game and how I found out about it. It's December of 2018 and me and many others were watching the Game Awards, when suddenly Nintendo decided to reveal their next character for a little indie game. I don't know if you've heard it, it's called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And this was my first exposure to the character of Joker, and I was immediately locked in. I myself was completely clueless as to what a Persona even was. I wasn't even aware of this franchise's existence, yet this trailer made me so excited to experience something that I was completely unaware of. And eventually, on Christmas, I actually ended up getting a PS4. So naturally, I decided to pick up a copy of the original Persona 5, and that's where my love for this franchise started, and then I became a Persona fan. What? Scully likes a franchise from Sega that isn't Sonic? This game was my gateway into the series, and I am so thankful that it was. For the sake of this review, I'm going to be going over the Royal Edition of the game because I consider it the definitive way to play this game. But I will touch on differences between the two versions when necessary. Persona 5 is a story-driven anime RPG that was developed by Sega and Atlus. Now I know what you're thinking, you hear anime and RPG in the same sentence and your face is probably looking something like this. But I assure you this game is peak and I have the evidence to prove it. But let's not waste any more time, let's jump into the world of Persona 5. You play as a 16-year-old named Ren Amamiya. You were framed for a crime you didn't even commit and now you have a criminal record. Because of this, you are forced to move to Tokyo and you live in a coffee shop with a man named Sojiro. You are on constant probation and you have to adjust to going into a new school where nobody likes you and spreads rumors about you constantly. And strange deaths are happening all over Japan. They're being labeled as mental shutdowns. And there's a weird app that keeps showing up on your phone. It seems almost supernatural, and you're having very strange nightmares. But it'll all make sense very soon. The game's story also serves as one giant flashback as we jump between the present where Joker has been captured and is being interrogated, and the past where we actually get to see these events unfold. You eventually meet a guy named Ryuji, and you both get sucked into this alternate strange world where you meet up with a cat named Morgana. All of the characters involved are completely perplexed by this new world, and why the hell is this cat talking to them so much, and why does it think it's human? Morgana explains that the world that they are in is known as a palace, a world born from a distorted and warped, corrupted heart. and it represents the disordered desires of the person who perceives the world in that way. This game has a lot of themes of mental health and whatnot, but the big focus of this game's story is on cognition mainly. Ren and Ryuji decide to help Morgana out, and they try to figure out a way to escape this weird world. And then they realize who the palace ruler actually is, and that is when we are introduced to personas and persona awakenings. Personas are the physical manifestation of one's rebellion and will. They're kind of like JoJo stands, but they have a lot more to do with your personality, and they can't just be used anywhere all willy-nilly. You can only use them in the metaverse and in palaces. But these personas are the source of our hero's powers, and normally people can only have one persona, but Joker is a special case because he is able to wield multiple personas, which will be very important later in the video. Joker and his many friends form the Phantom Thieves, a vigilante group that is dedicated to changing the hearts of corrupt adults all over Japan. And that's the best summary of the story I can give without making this video over like 600 hours long. I may not talk about every character in this review because we'd be here all day, but I definitely will do character essays on most of the characters on the second channel. But we've talked about the story, now it's time to get into the gameplay. Persona 5's gameplay is split into two segments. You have the stuff that you do in the real world, which is basically one giant life simulator where you can go all around Tokyo doing various activities in the cities. There is also a feature in every Persona game called Confidants, and in 5, the Confidants are easily the best part about the game. Hanging out with Confidants allows you to get special perks that will help you throughout the game, but it's also a great way of seeing the story from other characters' perspectives and getting a feel for their personality even more. And by talking to certain Confidants, that can lead to very fun side quests that you can do in Mementos. The other bulk of the gameplay is spent exploring the palaces and the different parts of the metaverse in the story. And this is where the dungeon crawling aspects of this game really start to shine. There is so much to do within a single palace, it can be overwhelming at times, but as long as you come up with a great strategy, you should be fine. But be aware that there is a time limit for palaces, much like the game Majora's Mask. So you have to be very strategic with your timing and also how you choose to tackle each palace. Which leads us to the combat, which is easily one of the best parts of the game in my opinion. Everything feels so smooth and seamless, and it flips the whole turn-based RPG system on its head with all of its unique features. It's slightly similar to Pokemon because you really have to prioritize your enemy's weaknesses to win battles, but there's other fun features like the all-out attack where you can just single-handedly wipe all the enemies off the screen after knocking them all down, thus creating a very fun rhythm to the combat. And you don't just have to use personas either, you can also utilize guns and melee attacks, which can be pretty powerful on certain enemies. There's also this really great feature called baton passing, where after you knock down an enemy, you can pass it over to another teammate, raise their damage, and continue to knock down enemies, and you kind of just get into this flow state. I think something that a lot of RPGs really struggle with is their combat systems, so the fact that Persona 5 was able to create something unique for the player was so refreshing. Royal added in Showtime attacks, which are basically these really cool special moves that you can pull off, and they all have their own unique animations and do massive amounts of damage. I think that about does it for the gameplay segment of this video, but this game has over 100 hours of content and a gameplay loop that is insanely satisfying to me. But let's move on to our last segment of the video before I give my closing thoughts. In terms of visuals, Persona 5 is absolutely stellar. I really enjoy how all of the characters are super detailed and very expressive. I'm also a huge fan of the red and black color scheme that this game consistently uses. Not only does it fit the tone of the story very well, but it also just looks very unique and I love it. But you want to know the really legendary aspect of this game? The soundtrack. I've been using it for almost this entire video, and I would be lying if I didn't think that it was the best gaming OST that has ever graced my ears. There is not a single track in this game that isn't an immediate banger. A lot of the vocal tracks in this game are done by an artist named Lyn, and her voice sounds like it came straight from the heavens. I'm gonna play a couple of songs from the game for you just so you can see how peak the music truly is.
You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done and floated.
I think Persona 5 is an absolute masterpiece, and I think Sega and Atlus did a wonderful job. I played this game when I was about 16 or 17, and I did have some struggles going on in my life at that point in time, but this game is what ultimately helped me through those painful times. Which is pretty ironic considering how dark the game's story can get. But it's those happy moments and victories that I got to share with the Phantom Thieves that made me more happier while playing the game. This game gave me a great sense of escapism that I didn't really feel with any other game I had played up until that point. I also didn't really have a friend group that I was as close with as the Phantom Thieves are to each other. Nowadays, that isn't really the case, and I found great people, but it was those times that I spent logging into the game every day and spending time with the Phantom Thieves and just enjoying the Japanese culture and world that really got me sucked into this game. And after I had already beaten the game, it definitely brought a lot of post-game depression because of how much I was enjoying it. Even though the game is over 100 hours long, I wanted it to go on even longer. And even those superheroes with the power of demons and gods that can change the heart of evildoers all around the world don't exist, even if we wish they did, it was nice to live out that fantasy. I'm currently doing a third playthrough on hard mode, and it's making me realize how much I truly love this game and what it means to me. But that's all I have to say about Persona 5, and I'll see you in whatever my next project ends up being. And as always, thanks for watching.